Some players are just footballers. They come to a club, they do their job, and then they leave. But Steven Gerrard was never just a footballer for Liverpool. He was one of us. He was a fan who got to live the dream of every single person who stands on the cop. When he played with the heart of a supporter. You could see it in every tackle he made and every goal he scored. He carried the hopes and dreams of an entire city on his shoulders for so many years. He wasn't just wearing the red shirt, he was the red shirt personified. He understood what it meant to represent Liverpool Football Club, both on and off the pitch, and that is a rare quality. His connection to Liverpool goes deeper than just the 90 minutes of a match. It's a bond forged in the streets of Huyton, where he grew up kicking a ball, dreaming of playing at Anfield. This wasn't a job for him, it was his life's passion. He felt the highs just like we did, but he felt the lows even more because he was the one out there trying to make a difference. When the team was struggling, we looked to him. He was our leader, our inspiration, and our hero. He gave us moments of magic that we will be talking about for generations. He made us believe that anything was possible, even when the odds were completely stacked against us. His story is Liverpool's story. You can talk about great players who have passed through the doors at Anfield, and there have been many. Kenny Dalglish, Ian Rush, John Barnes, these are giants of the game. But Stevie's era was different. He was often the one world-class player in a team that was fighting to compete with richer clubs. He could have left for Chelsea, for Real Madrid, for anyone. They all wanted him, but he stayed. He stayed because Liverpool was his club. That loyalty, in an age where players move for money all the time, means everything to the fans. It showed us that he valued the Liverbird on his chest more than any trophy he might have won somewhere else. Looking back now, it's clear that his influence was immense. He wasn't just the captain, he was the standard bearer. He set the tone in training every single day. He demanded the best from himself and from everyone around him. When you played alongside him, you had to raise your game because you didn't want to let him down. He inspired a generation of players and a generation of fans. He showed us what it means to fight for the badge and to never ever give up. His journey is a testament to dedication, passion, and an unbreakable love for a football club. He is, and always will be, a true Liverpool legend in every sense of the word. Every Liverpool fan dreams of playing for the club, but very few get to live it. Steven Gerrard was one of the lucky ones, but luck had very little to do with it. It was all down to his incredible talent and his unmatched determination. He joined the Liverpool Academy when he was just 9 years old. Even back then, you could see there was something special about him. He was a skinny lad from Huyton, but he had a fire in his belly. He played with a passion that you just can't teach. He wanted it more than anyone else. He would run through brick walls for the team, even as a little kid. That desire was what set him apart from the start. His first team debut came on 29 November 1998 against Blackburn Rovers. He came on as a substitute for the last couple of minutes. I remember him being a bit nervy, a bit raw, but you could see the potential. He was playing alongside big names like Robbie Fowler and Paul Ince. It must have been daunting for a young lad of 18. In those early days, he was played in a few different positions, right back, central midfield, even on the wing. The manager, Gerard Houllier, was trying to find the best place for him, but wherever he played, he gave it his all. He showed a maturity beyond his years and a hunger to prove he belonged at that level. It wasn't long before he started to make a real name for himself. His first goal for the club against Sheffield Wednesday in 1999 was a sign of things to come. He picked up the ball in midfield, drove past a couple of defenders like they weren't even there, and finished with incredible composure. The Kop went wild. We all knew right then that we were watching the emergence of a future star. He had everything: a powerful shot, great passing range, tough tackling, and an engine that just never stopped. He was the complete midfielder, even at such a young age. He quickly became a key player in the team. The 2000 to 2001 season was his real breakthrough. He was a vital part of the team that won the treble of the League Cup, FA Cup, and UEFA Cup. He was still young, but he played with the authority of a veteran. He scored a brilliant goal in the UEFA Cup final against Alaves, a powerful strike that showed his class on the big stage. That season proved he wasn't just a promising youngster, he was a winner. He was already developing into the player who would go on to define an era for the club. The journey from a hopeful academy kid to a treble-winning hero happened so fast, but it was clear this was only the beginning for him. In October 2003, Gerard Houllier made a massive decision. He decided to make Steven Gerrard the new captain of Liverpool Football Club. He took the armband from Sami Hyypiä, who was a brilliant leader and a top professional. But Houllier saw something different in Stevie. He saw a natural leader, someone who could inspire the team through his actions. He said Stevie had leadership qualities he'd spotted from the beginning. It was a huge moment in his career. At just 23 years old, he was given the responsibility of leading the club he had supported his entire life. It was a massive honor, but it also came with a huge amount of pressure. Stevie took to the captaincy like he was born for it. The armband didn't weigh him down, it made him stronger. He led by example in every single game. He was always the first to press, the first to make a tackle, the first to demand more from his teammates. When the team was down, he was the one who would grab the game by the scruff of the neck and drag us forward. You could see how much it meant to him. He wasn't just playing for himself, he was playing for the badge, for the manager, for the fans, and for the history of the club. He understood the weight of that armband and everything it represented. Being the captain of Liverpool is more than just shouting on the pitch. It's about being the face of the club. Stevie handled that role perfectly. He was always professional in front of the media, even after a tough loss. He spoke with honesty and passion. He was a role model for the younger players in the squad, showing them what it took to be a Liverpool player. He set the standards in training every day. If you weren't giving 100%, he would let you know. He wasn't afraid to have a go at a teammate if he felt they weren't pulling their weight. That's what a real captain does. He demands the best from everyone. His leadership wasn't just about shouting and tackling, though. It was about producing moments of pure genius when the team needed it most. Time and time again, when we were in trouble, he would score a screamer from 30 yards out or deliver a perfect pass to win us the game. He was our talisman. The fans believed in him and the players believed in him. When Stevie was on the pitch, we always felt like we had a chance, no matter who we were playing against. Giving him the captaincy was one of the best decisions the club ever made. It unleashed the leader inside him and set the stage for the incredible moments that were still to come. The 2005 Champions League final in Istanbul is the game that defines Steven Gerrard's career. It's the game that cemented his status as a legend. We were playing against a great AC Milan side, a team full of world-class stars like Kaká, Pirlo, and Shevchenko. At halftime, we were 3-0 down. It was silent in the dressing room. We were devastated. Our dreams were turning into a nightmare. Most teams would have crumbled. Most captains would have accepted defeat. But Steven Gerrard is not most captains. He was the one who started to rally the troops. He knew we had to go out there and fight for the badge, for the fans who had traveled all that way. The second half started, and something changed. The fans started singing "You'll Never Walk Alone," and it gave us a lift. Then, in the 54th minute, Stevie produced the moment that gave us hope. John Arne Rice crossed the ball in and Stevie rose up. He hung in the air and guided a perfect header into the corner of the net. It was an incredible goal, but it was his reaction that was even more important. He didn't celebrate wildly. He turned to the fans, waving his arms, urging them to believe. He ran back to the center circle, telling his teammates that this was not over. He single-handedly sparked the comeback. That goal changed everything. It was like a switch had been flicked. Suddenly, we had belief. The Milan players looked rattled. Just 2 minutes later, Vladimir Smicer scored to make it 3-2. The stadium was electric, and then a few minutes after that, Stevie made another burst into the box and was brought down by Gattuso for a penalty. He won the penalty through sheer will and determination. Xabi Alonso stepped up. His penalty was saved, but he smashed in the rebound. 3-3. It was unbelievable. In the space of 6 minutes, our captain had dragged us back from the brink of humiliation. It was the greatest comeback in Champions League history. The rest of the game, plus extra time, was a battle. Stevie was everywhere. He ended up playing at right back because of injuries, making last-ditch tackles to save us. He was running on empty, suffering from cramp, but he refused to give in. He gave absolutely everything he had for the team. Then came the penalty shootout. We all know what happened next. Jerzy Dudek became the hero, and we won the Champions League. But none of it would have been possible without our captain. He refused to let us lose. That night in Istanbul was the ultimate proof of his leadership, his quality, and his incredible fighting spirit. It was a captain's performance for the ages. If Istanbul was a miracle, then the 2006 FA Cup final against West Ham was a one-man show. That final is now simply known as the Gerrard final, and for good reason. He was absolutely immense that day. We were the favourites going into the game, but West Ham gave us a real fight. They went 2-0 up, and we were struggling. Just like in Istanbul, we found ourselves in a difficult position. And just like in Istanbul, it was our captain who stepped up to drag us back into the game. He provided a brilliant assist for Djibril Cissé to make it 2-1, a perfectly weighted long pass that showed his incredible vision and technique. He wasn't done there. In the second half, he scored the equalizer himself. The ball fell to him in the box, and he smashed it into the roof of the net with his right foot. It was a powerful, clinical finish. 2-2. We were back in it. But West Ham came back at us and scored again to make it 3-2. It was a freak goal that went in off one of our own players. As the clock ticked down, it looked like it was going to be their day. The board went up to show 4 minutes of extra time. We were tired, we were desperate, and we needed a hero. We needed a moment of magic from somewhere. And then it happened. The moment that no one who saw it will ever forget. The ball was cleared out of the West Ham box and dropped about 35 yards from goal. Stevie was struggling with cramp. He could barely run, but he summoned every last ounce of energy he had left. He ran onto the ball and hit it on the volley. It was the sweetest strike you will ever see. The ball flew like a rocket, low and hard into the bottom corner of the net. The goalkeeper had no chance. It was 3-3. The stadium erupted. It was a goal of unbelievable quality, scored under the most intense pressure imaginable. It was simply breathtaking. That goal sent the game to extra time and then to penalties. Stevie was suffering badly with cramp, but still stepped up to score his penalty in the shootout. We went on to win the FA Cup, and it was all down to him. He had scored 2 goals and made another. He was deservedly named Man of the Match. It was another final where he single-handedly refused to let his team lose. The Gerrard final, just like Istanbul, showed the world what he was all about. It wasn't just his talent, it was his character, his desire to win, and his ability to produce something extraordinary when it mattered most. Steven Gerrard's career is full of so many incredible goals that it's hard to pick just a few. But some of them were more than just goals, they were defining moments. They were thunderbolts that changed the course of a game or a season. One that always stands out is his goal against Olympiacos in the Champions League in 2004. We needed to win by 2 clear goals to get out of the group stage. We were winning 2-1, but time was running out. It looked like we were going out. Then in the 86th minute, the ball was laid back to him on the edge of the box. He hit it first time, a half volley that nearly burst the net. The Kop exploded. That goal sent us through, and we went on to win the whole thing in Istanbul. Without that goal, the miracle would never have happened. Another defining moment was his hat-trick against Everton in the Merseyside Derby in 2012. The Derby is the biggest game of the season for us. It means everything to the fans. To score a hat-trick in any game is special, but to do it against your local rivals at Anfield is the stuff of dreams. He was unplayable that night. His first goal was a clever dink over the keeper. His second and third were powerful finishes after brilliant runs. He became the first player to score a hat-trick in the derby since Ian Rush in the 1980s. He dominated the game from start to finish and gave the fans the ultimate bragging rights. It was a masterclass from the captain. You also have to talk about his goals against Manchester United. He always seemed to save something special for our biggest rivals. I remember his goal at Anfield in 2001, an absolute screamer from 30 yards that flew into the top corner. That was one of his early blockbusters that announced his arrival as a top player. Then there was the penalty he scored at Old Trafford in our 4-1 win in 2009. After scoring, he ran over to the corner flag and kissed the camera. It was an iconic celebration. It was a message to them that we were coming for their title. He loved scoring against United, and the fans loved him for it. These goals were not just technically brilliant, they were emotionally significant. They came at crucial times in the biggest games when the pressure was at its highest. That was the mark of Stevie. He was a big game player. He didn't hide when things got tough, he thrived. He had an incredible ability to sense the moment and deliver something spectacular. His goals against Olympiacos, West Ham, Everton, and Manchester United are etched into the memory of every Liverpool fan. They are the moments we will tell our grandchildren about. They are the goals that made him a legend and shook the Kop to its foundations. Steven Gerrard's leadership went far beyond wearing an armband and shouting instructions. He was the heartbeat of the team for more than a decade. His presence on the pitch was enough to lift everyone around him. When you were lining up in the tunnel and you saw him there, focused and ready for battle, it gave you confidence. You knew that with him in your team, you always had a chance. He had an aura about him. He led by example, not just with his incredible talent, but with his work rate. He never gave less than 100%, whether it was a Champions League final or a cold Tuesday night in a League Cup game. That commitment was infectious. His loyalty to Liverpool is one of the main reasons he is so adored. In modern football, it's very rare for a player of his quality to stay at one club for almost their entire career. He had chances to leave, most famously to Chelsea in 2005. They had just won the league, they had a rich owner, and they were offering him a massive contract. It was a huge temptation. For a short time, it looked like he might actually go. The whole city held its breath. But in the end, he couldn't do it. He realized that winning one trophy with Liverpool would mean more to him than winning 10 trophies somewhere else. His heart was at Anfield. This loyalty was tested many times. There were periods when the team was not performing well, when we were finishing outside the top four. Other top players might have looked for a move to a club that was guaranteed Champions League football. But Stevie stayed. He stayed and fought to get Liverpool back to the top. He felt a deep sense of responsibility to the club and the fans. He once said that he wanted to be able to look the fans in the eye when he retired and know that he had given them his all. That commitment earned him a level of respect that money can't buy. His leadership was also about how he handled the tough moments. I saw it firsthand. He was the one who would pick players up when they made a mistake. He would be the first one to take the blame after a bad result, even if it wasn't his fault. He protected his teammates. He understood the pressure of playing for Liverpool, and he did everything he could to help the other lads cope with it. He was a true captain in every sense of the word. His combination of world-class ability, incredible work ethic, and unwavering loyalty made him the perfect leader for Liverpool Football Club. He was the engine, the inspiration, and the soul of the team. The connection between Steven Gerrard and the Liverpool fans is something truly special. It's a bond that goes beyond football. We loved him because he was one of us. He was a local lad who grew up supporting the club just like we did. He understood the city, the people, and what Liverpool Football Club means to them. When he pulled on that red shirt, he wasn't just playing for a team. He was representing his home. We saw our own dreams being lived out through him on the pitch at Anfield. Every goal he scored, every trophy he lifted, it felt like one of our own family had done it. That connection is priceless. We loved him for his passion. You could see it in his eyes every time he played. He played with his heart on his sleeve. He celebrated goals with a raw emotion that you could feel in the stands. He would roar at the Kop and the Kop would roar back at him. He felt the pain of defeat just as much as we did, if not more. We could forgive a misplaced pass or a missed shot because we knew he was giving absolutely everything for the cause. In a world where some players seemed detached, Stevie was the opposite. He was totally invested, and that's why the fans were totally invested in him. We loved him for the moments of pure magic he gave us. Football is about moments, and he delivered more than anyone. The goal against Olympiacos, the header in Istanbul, the thunderbolt in the FA Cup final, these are the moments that fans will talk about forever. He was the player we looked to when we were in trouble. He was our get-out-of-jail-free card. So many times when a game looked lost, he would produce a piece of individual brilliance to save us. He gave us hope when there was none. He made us believe that with him on our side, anything was possible. That's a powerful thing to give to a fan base, but most of all, we loved him for his loyalty. He could have gone anywhere in the world. He could have won more league titles and earned more money at another club. But he stayed at Liverpool because he loved the club. That decision to stay, especially when Chelsea came calling, cemented his place in our hearts forever. It showed that he valued his connection with the fans and the city more than anything else. He chose us. For a supporter, there is no greater compliment. He was our captain, our leader, our hero. He wasn't just a great player, he was our great player. And that's why he will always be adored by the Anfield faithful. Steven Gerrard's legacy at Liverpool is not just about the trophies he won or the goals he scored. It's much deeper than that. His legacy is one of inspiration, loyalty, and an unbreakable bond with the club and its supporters. He set the standard for what it means to be a Liverpool player. For 17 years, he was the embodiment of the club's values, passion, commitment, and a relentless desire to win. He showed a generation of players and fans that you should never give up, no matter how difficult the situation looks. The spirit of Istanbul and the FA Cup final is his legacy. It's the belief that you can always find a way to win if you fight hard enough. He leaves behind a highlight reel of moments that will be watched for as long as Liverpool Football Club exists. The goals, the tackles, the celebrations, they are all part of the club's rich history now. But his legacy is also in the players he inspired. Young players at the academy today look up to him. They want to be the next Steven Gerrard. He showed them that a local lad can make it to the very top and become a hero for his hometown club. He is the ultimate role model. His influence will be felt at Liverpool for decades to come through the players who try to emulate his drive and his passion for the red shirt. Even though he is now retired from playing, his connection to the club remains as strong as ever. He is a regular visitor to Anfield, where he is always given a hero's welcome. He is a global ambassador for the club, representing Liverpool all over the world. When people think of Liverpool Football Club in the modern era, they think of Steven Gerrard. He is synonymous with the club. His name is sung on the cop at every single home game, a testament to the love and respect the fans have for him. He isn't just a former player, he is a permanent part of the fabric of the club. Ultimately, Steven Gerrard's legacy is that he was more than just a footballer. He was a symbol of hope for the city. He carried the club on his shoulders through some difficult years and gave us moments of joy that we will never forget. He could have chosen an easier path, but he chose to stay and fight for the club he loved. He may not have won the Premier League title that he craved so much, but he won something far more valuable, the eternal love and gratitude of the Liverpool supporters. In the history of this great club, there have been few players who have meant more. Steven Gerrard is, and always will be, a true Liverpool legend.